My most memorable troop would be being a Stormtrooper at my best friend's wedding. I was in the wedding party as my Stormtrooper. It was a very hot 42-degree day, and I had nice fans inside the helmet. I was in a white costume out in the sun, so the sun was reflecting off it, and I was the coolest person there.
It varies. I've done a small troop with a small group of us, and I had a 3-year-old girl that came up to another Stormtrooper with myself, and she would have been all of 1.5 feet tall, and then proceeded to tell us her life story with a and then I've done some big events like the solo premiere, where I've got to stand out the front and welcome in the celebrities and all my fellow 501st members. So yeah, it varies. There's always something little to take out of each event.
I'd have to say Dream Night. That's the event that's held every year. It's the first Thursday in December, where we go to Toronto Zoo and we dress up in our costumes, and we get to see special needs and disadvantaged children, and we get to entertain them for just to see their faces is just priceless. You never get to see that every day sometimes. These poor kids, what they're going through, we can only begin to imagine. But if we can make their world just a little bit brighter for one night, that's great. I love doing that every year.
My second Nova that I did, and I just learned how to do my Jawa voice at that point. And this one's two-part. The members had heard me do my Jawa and didn't realize that it wasn't a voice changer, that it was actually me doing the voice. And the fans' reactions to when I do that as well, how they, startle or, oh my God, like, that's an actual Jawa, sounds and everything.
My very first Supernova convention, I got to stay in my costume all day, and I ended up getting to meet Tamara Morris and getting some photos with him in my Echo armour.
We were contacted by Make-A-Wish, and we did a troop under the railway network in Central Station for a little boy named Fred. Now, Fred was 5. Fred had terminal cancer, and there were a bunch of us that came out to support him. That was an incredibly rewarding and rich troop for me. Not only making me feel positive about what I'd done for him, but seeing his engagement with us was everything. And that has stuck with me all this time.
I remember that troop, yeah.
We knew why we were there. And, to give that to a child who was convinced that I was Chewbacca, so much so that he wanted to feed me lollies. What else could I do? I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And when you're in that costume, you become the character. There's no breaking of that. It's just the way it is, and it's amazing.
When I was in Japan for Celebration recently, I got to troop a baseball game. For those that don't know, baseball is huge in Japan. So they had capacity crowd there for Star Wars night. And we basically escorted a Japanese actor onto the field from the back of the field to the pitching mound where we formed up, made formation. He did a ceremonial pitch, which is a traditional thing in baseball. And it was I want to say 25,000 people all cheering on Star Wars people. It was amazing.
I mean, I have to say, like, Supernova and Oz Comic Con are the best ones. But probably, just all the people that come, just to see everyone dressed up, and people are so good to see us, and they just want to have photos and chat with us. It's great to see.
The most memorable was the first time I did Westmead. It makes you realise how precious life is. I got 2 kids with who are neurodivergent, and sometimes it can be tough. So for me, that Westmead troop came at a really important time, and I essentially made sure that, hey, you know what, it was a good kick, swift reality check to go, you know what, everything's okay, there's people worth off you. So yeah, that was my most memorable one.
It's the Rogue One premiere, my first ever. Dream Night is another one that's a pretty special one, for the interaction with those kids and so on. Star Wars identities, display up with all of the costumes, and the 501st had a fairly routine presence at Star Wars identities to make it more interactive. So there were some days from those troops that were really awesome. One in particular where it was like, I think all the TKs that we had all came along to that troop. It was like so many of them. Like I don't know what the count was, but it was awesome.
10-year-old kid came up to me and said, "Can I have your autograph?" Pulled out this shirt and he asked me to sign it. So I thought, what do I sign? Darth Maul.
I guess to kids, they don't see you as a person dressed up. You are Darth Maul from the movie, right?
When I put this on, it's like a second skin. After a while, I just don't. I don't remember that I'm wearing it.
I remember I had a mum when we went to Westmead Children's Hospital. After we visited the room, she came running out after us, and she said, "Sorry, I'm getting choked up just thinking about it." That her son hadn't smiled in 6 weeks until we came, and that really put what we do into perspective.
Just Dream Night in general, and seeing those, the kids come through, and seeing just how much happiness we can bring to them, knowing what they've had to go through in their lives and the hardships that they're having.
Yeah.
And being able to experience this with those kids, to bring them through this really positive experience that they're going to take back with them. They're going to remember, and they're going to look back, in a week or 2 months from now and go, "Oh, remember that? That was so much fun." And being able to be a part of that. I think being a Dream Night is always just one of my favorite parts of the year.